Joining us right now in an exclusive interview is Mika Kaufman. He's the CEO of Fiverr. It's a freelance job-finding platform. And Mika recently sent a memo to employees about AI. I want to share it right here on CNBC for a moment because you wrote, quote, "The hero is undoubtedly and will be in the future the talented human that knows how to make the most out of tech." You started this service. Originally, it was $5. That's how this all started. People would create content for $5. And now the worry is that ChatGPT and other services like it are going to basically do it as well, if not better, than humans. So what do you tell all the people on your platform?
First of all, happy Valentine's Day, and thanks for having me. You know, I'm a techno-optimist, and I believe that technology plays a critical role in the advancement of humanity. And while I'm not blind to the risks that come with it, I think that the benefits outweigh the risk if used responsibly. It is true that AI tools are incredible, but that is precisely what they are. They're just tools. And what really matters is how humans are going to use these tools to create new things. You know, I came across an interview that Steve Jobs gave in 1981 about personal computers, and he said, "We're basically fashioning a 21st century tool here, which can amplify an inherent intellectual ability that man has and really take care of a lot of drudgery to free people to do much more creative work." And this is exactly what AI is doing. So if we used to have, you know, Microsoft Paint, and then we had Adobe Photoshop, and then we had Canva, now we have AI. But all it matters is how human beings are using AI. And it's less about the job displacement, because jobs are being displaced by technology since the 18th century and the automation in the past 100 years. But the fact is that so many new jobs are being created, and you can find those new specialists on our platform, which is why I don't think we should be worried about this.
So, Mika, the question, and I've used your platform before for a number of things. A lot of the services that people use were effectively outsourcing writing, copywriting, logo creation, design of something. It really does appear that the same kind of things, unfortunately, can be produced now by these AI services. And so long term, do people just use those services and that displaces these people? You think that the humans that are on your service, for example, then sort of leverage AI and improve it in some other way? How does that work?
They absolutely leverage AI. And I think that when you look at the most impressive work that is done by AI, essentially it's because of the experts that know how to use AI to create breathtaking results, which probably you and I don't know how to do. So essentially, it's a new breed of professions that know how to use the tools to create super creative things.
And Mia, while I have you here, you're based in Israel, and I do have to ask you about what's happening there, because there's a big fight, as you know, over judicial reform there. Strikes taking place even among high-tech workers. JP Morgan out with a note that Wall Street needs to start to worry about investing in Israel, perhaps for the first time in a very long time. What do you make of all of that?
Well, I'm not a political commentator, but as a citizen, what I can say is that Israel is a pluralistic and liberal state, and I think that those who believe this, above all, feel great discomfort today, regardless of their political preference. So that by itself says a lot. And voices are coming from all corners of society that are asking government to slow down, listen, consult, think quietly, and understand what we have. I think democracy is bigger than politics. And I think that the reform is not a done deal yet. I'm not definitely, as an executive, I'm not going to make any hasty decisions at this point.
But you think the judicial reform piece, do you think that the politicians are listening and are seeing this concern about investment from around the world and saying maybe we should, not go this direction, or not?
I think that if anything at this point is about slowing down, I think that there's probably should be a reform, because as a system, the system evolves with life, and it shouldn't be constant. However, what those changes need to be should be agreed on a very wide basis, which requires time. And I think that this is right now what's on stake. If this is going to slow down and listen to the different voices in the Israeli society.
Micha, thank you. Appreciate it very, very much. A lot of cool stuff, by the way, you can do on Valentine's Day on Fiverr, just FYI. You're talking about buying roses, you can do some other cool things too.